And we're back, guys. We were on a little bit of a hiatus here at Fresh Cuts, but we're back. These three gentlemen and myself, we're about to kick it in this debate right now. But you know what? I think the Yankees are playing a team from Boston. Gentlemen, should we tell them what we think about Boston?
Fuck Boston.
And we're back, guys. So welcome back to Fresh Cuts. I'm here with these three gentlemen. We're going to talk it up. We ain't going to waste no time. Let's get right into it, fellas. What do we got? What's
Fuck Boston. That's what we got.
Fuck Boston. That's number one.
True. Fuck Boston all day. We're only, I believe, 4 innings away from sweeping them in the Bronx and protecting home field. Even though we're going to lose a division, we're not stupid. You know we're not going to win. It's just one game. But this means something. We're sending a message to Oakland, Houston. I don't even care about the Indians, and the Red Sox. Listen, man, we are protecting home field. We're healthy right now.
Here. We here, nigga.
Is this the best time of the year for sports?
Yeah, I think so.
One more month.
One more month, right? It's like baseball
October.
playoffs.
Because October's
September,
playoffs
October.
for baseball.
Yeah.
Preseason basketball starts. Football's full swing. And
I think
then
this year the
we're into
NBA
it.
is starting like
Hockey's
2 weeks early, isn't it?
Preseason basketball, I think it is.
No, I think the NBA is starting like mid-October this year rather than like Halloween.
Did
Well,
they
actually-
cut games or no?
I think it's like the 16th is the first game or something like that, isn't it?
They didn't cut games though, right? It's still 82.
I don't
they
think
ain't cut
they-
games.
I think
they stretched out the schedule.
they stretched it out to get more rest days in it. Hockey's about to start, and again, I know none of us are hockey fans here, or at least not that I know of. But
I mean,
It's already
I like
started.
the Rangers, but I can't tell you who's on the squad behind Lundqvist
I respect that.
and Kreider.
I don't follow any hockey teams, but I think their jerseys are fire. I don't know why. Like I've always felt like hockey jerseys are fire. You can't really wear them anywhere though. Like when you see
What team
somebody,
got the fire-est jersey?
of course, either the San Jose Sharks or
The Kings got a dope jersey.
the Ducks, the Anaheim Ducks, because of
Throwback.
the Mighty Ducks. The Mighty Ducks, remember that?
What? With the hockey mask duck? That shit is fire.
Yeah, that's
It's wild problematic, but the Blackhawks, bro. The Blackhawks.
Oh, of course. That's no. I knew that.
that's a fire jersey.
Well, that one and the Red Wings. I mean, the Red Wings jerseys.
yeah, the Red Wings is tough.
Well, I mean, come on, look, you can start
Aren't those
naming
pretty
all of them
much-
because the Jersey Devils one is fire as well with the jersey with the logo. I think the Lightning is trash. The St. Louis Blues are trash. Dallas.
I don't know why you like the
this many
Sharks
teams.
jersey.
Why I
Yo,
like
we need to pull them up.
The Sharks jersey is horrible.
the San Jose with the.
That shit is
With the blue?
terrible.
Nah,
bro.
with the shark?
It's the colors. It's the colors.
Nah,
With the
that don't
shark
mean
biting
jersey.
the
Nah,
fucking
that's dope.
hockey stick.
Nah, I like that. That's dope.
The Maple
Yo,
Leafs
Shark
one is
Week.
trash.
Nah, Maple Leafs ain't bad.
Maple Leafs is fire.
It's the
Yo, put it on the screen,
Simple, but
Ali.
it's fire.
Put them on the screen.
put them
Yeah,
on the
let's
Stop
screen.
acting like y'all know. Just change the subject with this damn hockey jersey stuff.
Yeah, right?
Like, fucking
And
four
that's our
minorities
hockey
talking
segment.
about hockey.
Seems like somebody doesn't know more than one hockey team. Like, right?
Hey, look.
No, I do know. I'm impressed that you know a lot of hockey teams.
Oh yeah,
That was a lot.
I know players too. I don't know what all teams they play for, but I know their names.
Yeah, name some.
Of course, the kid Sidney Crosby from the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Pittsburgh Penguins. I mean, come on. That's the city of Pittsburgh has the Steelers and the Penguins, and they all wear the same color. Like that, the Pirates.
The Pirates.
That's pretty dope.
Black and
Like a
yellow.
city that has two color schemes locked down. I mean,
Whoa,
Plus a
most
soundtrack
New
to go
York
with it.
teams wear blue. If that counts.
But New York teams don't line up. It's either blue and orange or blue and red. It's
But Nick,
Actually,
but y'all got the
red, and orange,
name.
if you
But
think
y'all
about
got. Well, at least if you're like from Queens or Jersey, what happens? If you're from Queens or Jersey, you got what? Mets, Nets, and Jets. That's kind of dope. I guess.
No. That's not what you got. No, sir. Sorry. No.
Excuse me.
Mets,
No?
Giants.
So you're saying right now that this jersey is fire?
I mean, that's nah.
All right.
I like it.
Put the white jersey up though.
You gotta love
It's right there. It's on the screen.
Oh, my bad. I want to get a different one.
Okay, that one I like a little bit better.
Oh, now you like it.
No,
huh?
I like the color scheme on that one better.
Nah. We're not giving no websites no advertisement time. We just gonna use
Never.
imagery.
Nah, never.
Well, this one's weird because it has black sleeve.
Yeah.
And
I don't like that one. I like the
keeper's
all white.
jersey.
yeah, the all white one's pretty. Pavelski, all right. Gonna get that Pavelski jersey going on.
Just add a ski to any name that is a hockey player.
Yes, sir.
SKI or SKY, either or.
Aliski.
Ali ski. I'm just ski.
So I think it's kind of interesting that we've
That
been
does sound Russian.
we've been on a hiatus. Some of the guys were traveling, some have gotten married, a lot of stuff have happened. And it's interesting that we come back and it's already like 2.5 weeks into NFL season. It's interesting because, half of us are watching it, the other half aren't, and it's odd because you would think that would be what we'd be talking about right now, but it's like the NFL has kind of lost its luster in terms of conversation.
Not necessarily.
No.
Rob doesn't want to talk because the Giants suck.
Now, what's homeboy that retired in the halftime shit? That's just mad funny.
The tight end, what's his name?
So
That
this is what I've noticed, because I have people in both sides of the whatever you want to call it, of viewing the NFL or not viewing the NFL. Whatever you want to call it, the picket fans, I guess. The people who are not viewing the NFL, they think the NFL is going down. It's lost its luster because you surround yourself with that environment. But that's not the case. I think that is not the case. The NFL is still as strong.
I agree with that. Like, to me, it's lost its luster because I'm not watching. But in general, I think everybody else is just as excited as they've always been.
Last week was trash. The first week was a very good week. Like, it was really good football. It was good.
Are there any numbers yet? Is there numbers yet?
It's still trending down because the rule changes and dumb stuff they keep doing. Like, the new hit penalty is retarded. They can't get it right.
Don't like that.
All right, so I'm just gonna read.
They're throwing way more flags to get more offensive plays, which Ali and me have talked about this. That offensive plays equal more points, equal more viewership, and higher records and shit like that. So that's what they've been doing, though. There's like way more flags than ever before.
I think the game needs to be more explosive now to take away from if the slower the game becomes, the more opportunity you have for people to think and talk, right? Like that, it's just common sense. If you give the announcer on TV time to talk, exactly, pretty much, right? Baseball, they'll tell you a baseball player's life story in between their bats because they got so much time. The NFL, you don't want a guy like Chris Collinsworth. I know we were just talking about how he's on Thursday Night Football. Like, you don't want to give him 4 minutes between plays to give his perspective on Nike and Kaepernick. Right? Like, you want him to be so into, look at this guy's legs. He runs like a horse, and reviewing the plays, and then, so much action back and forth. Right? You don't want that. And I agree. I'm actually one of those people who feels like one of the reasons why I stopped watching the NFL was because it became too politicized, right? And when some other folks were saying it, I was like, oh no, you're just scared of the conversation. Now I actually kind of understand it. Like, if you're gonna be a part of the conversation, then you're gonna be a part of it fully. Don't try to deny it. Then just stay out of it completely. That was my mindset.
Well, why do you think it's just football though? Because LeBron speaks out.
Yeah, but
NBA don't get backlash.
David Stern, Adam Silver. I'm still stuck on David Stern. Shout outs to David Stern if you out there. Where you at? But Adam Silver defended his league when he said the Golden State Warriors have no desire to go to the White House. When LeBron James was told shut up and dribble, guess what? He just made a documentary that's coming out on HBO called Shut Up
LeBron's getting paid right now.
Narrated by Jamel Hill.
Narrated
LA moves by
Jamel.
LeBron. Jesus.
Listen,
Is it really?
He's making moves. And you know what? I think that Adam Silver has put himself in a position where he's like, the game is getting more worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot draw a line and say that this sport has nothing to do with politics when absolutely, we've talked about this before, sports are politicized in nature because that is how sport was born. It was
the most segregated time in this country outside of Sunday mornings?
When the White Sox cheated back in 1919.
Nah. It's fight night.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because depending on like where you're from.
I love that segue right there.
Right.
So I think this room may be split. This group of four, maybe 2-2 on how we think that fight went last week. If you don't know what fight we're talking about, Triple G, the Kazaki boxer,
got robbed.
Undefeated, had a tie in his day. Boxed with Saul Canelo Alvarez from Mexico.
Caught that L.
Second time. This was their second fight. The first one was a draw. This one, a really well-fought battle by both guys. I personally believe Canelo won, but
Canelo did win.
I think Triple G won, but I could see why Canelo could have got the win. I thought it was more of a draw, but I think it's rigged. I think it's still rigged just based off the last fight.
And
because
also,
no way in that last fight a draw. No, I going into it, I was like, if Triple G don't win by like a landslide, he's losing that fight.
Yeah.
Because one ref gave Canelo 6 rounds for the last fight?
That was the last fight, yeah.
But here's the thing.
I knew coming into
this fight,
some shady shit.
He won 6 rounds. I thought he won the first 6 rounds. I thought Triple G dominated the late rounds, and that's why I thought
won the 4th round. The 4th round was clearly Triple G. Of the first 6 rounds, he clearly won.
If anything, the 6th round he could have won. But either way,
I thought it was actually 4-2 at the end of the first 6 rounds. But yeah,
what we used to see in fighting is the guy who wins the later rounds tends to win the fight because it's more fresh in the judge's head. But that wasn't the case. Like Dizzle said, he had to win like by a landslide. Because Canelo is the face of boxing and not Triple G, and that's
Golden Boy.
Isn't that what fucks up the sport?
Hell yeah.
Politics, like Ali said, it's still politics.
But let's be honest, guys.
There's politics even within their ranks among their organizations.
Listen, every sport is somewhat manipulated to make ends and results that are needed for revenue purposes. UFC. That's not debatable. But here's the interesting thing about sports and why we love sports so much, because sports shows that you can still overcome, right? It doesn't matter what the judges had on their scorecard. Listen, these guys tagged each other that night. They showed that they had chins of steel, both of them. It wasn't.
Triple G was done early.
Triple G's face looked like he got hit with a friggin' stone hand a few times right here over that eye.
I mean, with that Mexican meat Canelo was taking.
Yeah. But when you look at it that way, they each had a chance to take that fight out of the judges' hands. They let that fight go into the judges' hands because they were great fighters. They're very tough to knock the hell out. They both were strong as shit that night. Now, that's why people love sports, because it doesn't matter, even if the umpire is calling bad strikes in a baseball game, pitcher makes one mistake and you capitalize on it, it doesn't matter what the umpire said. They can't call a home run a strike. The home run's a home run. And I think that's why the weirdness is that we're seeing that you should, whether it's MMA or boxing, NBA, I'm not watching NFL, but even in the NFL, I'm assuming you should go out there and try to close it, right? Like, don't try not to lose. This is one of my favorite cliches that people say on sports channels, right? It's like,
they always lose.
Don't try not to lose the game. Try to win it. Like, actually try to win the game. And that's why that 6-round mentality that you're talking about, Rob, with like boxers, I think it's actually switched around. I think back in the 80s when like Meldrick Taylor and Chavez, remember that fight? It was like Meldrick Taylor clearly kicked his ass the first 6 rounds, and then Chavez came back, and the judges gave it to actually Chavez won because Meldrick Taylor went down at the end of the 12th round, and the referee, instead of giving him the benefit of the fact that the round was about to end, actually looked in his eyes and said, fight over, with 2 seconds left in the 12th round. And he's looking at the referee like, what are you doing? What are you doing, right? And since then, there's been this trend, like whether it was Mayweather and what's his name, De La Hoya, right? De La Hoya allegedly won the first 6 rounds and then floated for the last 6, and they gave it to Mayweather. People started.
That wasn't Mayweather.
Yeah, it was.
That was Trinidad.
Trinidad, yeah. You know Trinidad.
That was Trinidad.
When De La Hoya fought Floyd Mayweather.
Nah, it was Trinidad. The Trinidad fight, I think you're thinking about.
Yeah, I don't think that was
right.
De La Hoya was running away, so they gave it to Trinidad.
You're right. And then something similar happened with Floyd Mayweather. I forgot what it was, but yes, you're right.
He got a.
That was
I think he lost pretty decisively. No,
he said
that
that
was
he landed combinations and that.
Who's this guy? Light skin fighter. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Bad girl. He has a bad girl that Kevin Hart used to make fun like he would hit. Oh my God, green eyes, light skin.
Mosley.
That was Mosley fight you're talking about. Mosley held up because he almost got Mayweather.
Yeah. So, or Zab Judah. Remember, Zab Judah believes that he almost got Mayweather.
Oh, that was.
Everybody believed that they.
Didn't Zab? Which one was the one that hurt Mayweather? Was it Mosley or
Mosley got him with hits, but he had no power. So
Zab Judah tagged him really well. Remember that he grabbed that Mayweather grabbed his
arm
and onto it so he wouldn't hit him again.
And McGregor tagged him.
But that didn't mean anything.
What the fluke?
It was
Speaking of NFL being relevant, you saw Fitzpatrick looking like Conor McGregor.
I did.
Yo, that shows the buzz.
I saw you posted the picture in the group chat, and I think that's hilarious.
He came out saying like, "You gotta stay humble, be yourself, and stay humble."
But I think that's what's missing in sports right now, like
personality.
Yeah, like why is it so uncomfortable to let people be themselves? And you know what? I say it all the time. We're baseball fans here, and baseball is so traditional that we accept it just because we're baseball fans. But like these stupid unwritten rules of baseball,
retarded.
They're retarded.
Oh, the bat flip. I want to see
anything. Or the trotting when you hit a home run rather than running. Like that means that I can hit you the next time you come around.
Yeah, that's dumb shit.
Or doing too much of this when you hit a double to your teammates in the dugout means that as a pitcher I can turn around and go, hey, show some class. Where does that come from?
It's all the old people, man.
Well, and then when
it's not though, because
it's not. That's the new generation. That's the new generation.
There's a lot of young players that are
I think what Dizzle's saying is their mentality is old, but you're right, they're younger players. They're like 21 years old turning around to a guy in the mound. And it's not really like the 40-year-old pitcher who's still on his last swim turning around and doing that.
Baseball's a little different because if you're going to be a baseball player, you've probably been doing this since 10 years old. And 10 years old, you've already been trained and conditioned and programmed to play the game in a certain way.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. And you know what? Rob actually brings up an excellent point about something that I think we should talk about. Serena Williams. Right? Like playing the game the right way per se, right? Like,
did you see that? Did you watch that live?
But I read a lot about
it. I heard about it.
I was frustrated with it on several levels, and I want to hear from you guys first. Like, what happened, and what do you guys think about it?
Okay, so my 1-year-old was chilling with me watching it because it was so it was actually it sucked for her, but it was really good TV. Like, I was super entertained watching this.
That's what I've heard, yes.
So, basically, they have these unwritten rules, or not even their rules, basically, that a coach in the stands can't make any gestures to the player and receive coaching. But apparently every coach does it. That doesn't necessarily mean that the player is noticing them in the stands and actually hearing the coaching. So what happened was she got caught. Well, she didn't get caught. She got penalized saying for coaching. Yeah, her manager
Serena
got
did?
caught. Her coach. Yeah, her coach. He said, I was coaching, but that doesn't mean she was. I do it every game. And so was the other girl's coach. He was doing it as well. He said it's a hypocrisy that tennis needs to change, but whatever. The ref gave her a warning. She was upset because she took it as that he was calling her a cheater. And then Serena, who was very passionate, took it very emotional and said, I'm not cheating. I do this at the utmost standard. I'm a role model to my daughter. Yeah, like she's that type of player. Then the second penalty, she got another penalty, whatever, for throwing her racket on the floor. So that's strike 2. Apparently, if there's 2 strikes, you lose a point.
Yeah.
And he announced it that he lost a point. She flipped out because she thought the first one penalty, whatever, that it was just a warning, like it was not a penalty. Exactly. So she flipped out and got a point, told him, and then she started ripping into him, like even during commercial breaks, like you can hear she was yelling. Everyone was quiet, and everyone in the place can hear her. I feel like they put a mic on her just to do it on purpose. But anyway, they told that she was yelling at the ref, and she was yelling at the ref, telling her, "You robbed me of a point. You're a thief." At that point, the ref was so annoyed, I guess, and pissed off. He penalized her a third time, and then when you get penalized a third time, it costs you a game. And in that point, in tennis, a game is a lot. That's like, you might as well give like the other team a grand slam or something like that. You know, you're down pretty much. And at that point, she was kind of making momentum, and that just killed everything. And the poor girl who won, she dominated the whole game. It was tainted.
It was tainted. So
sorry.
I think no, it's great because I think that's a
report
game,
over.
by the way.
A really thorough. What happened?
Tie game. Yeah.
I'm still on commercials on my end, so but that's. I'll see it here in a second. Look at Rob's face. He's waiting for the
Jackie Bradley Jr. hit a solo.
Well, fuck you, Rob.
I'm about to pop some fucking Moet.
Fuck you.
Didn't she?
Nah, hit the rest of that white Henny.
We might magically disconnect
It's halfway done.
if the Yankees start losing. I'm just saying that right
It's
now.
halfway done already, son?
I mean, I had it during the fight.
You're not playing, boy.
I had it during the
Yeah,
fight.
where you got it from?
When I went to Bahamas, I should have got 2, like I told myself.
How much are those?
Those
I heard
like
they charge
$35 or something
$100.
like that.
Really?
No, it was like 35, 50 bucks. They're no more than 50, depends where you go. Duty free. Like 40 bucks. Yeah. Duty free.
I'm gonna see if I could
awesome with
pop
the
some
prices.
on during my honeymoon.
Oh yeah.
Where you
Yo,
going?
bring some back, Dizzle.
We're doing a 6-day Caribbean cruise.
Oh yeah.
So
You're set. Yeah, you good.
yeah.
Yeah, you good.
So I think it's Bahamas. We're hitting up 2 spots in the Bahamas, I think. Turks and Caicos. And
Turks and Caicos is awesome, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Damn,
Me and the
that
wife
was-
did
that
the
was
honeymoon.
second decker off from Shaq Green. All right, I just saw it. My bad.
Turks and Caicos is amazing. You're gonna have a great time.
Yeah,
there.
I'm sure I'm gonna want to go back there. And
Oh yeah. It's just
do a
super
full
expensive.
I'm actually our honeymoon should be cool because we're gonna do 2 weeks. The cruise is 6 days. We're gonna spend maybe like
I feel like
4 or
we're
5
on the
days.
Travel Channel.
4 or 5 days in Kissimmee. Probably do Disney a couple days. Then we're gonna hit up Miami before we go to the cruise. We got some tickets to Miami Hurricanes versus Duke college football.
Oh,
So
dope.
that should be dope. I'm looking forward to that. They're mad cheap. They're like $10.
That's dope.
So while we're on the sports topic, I mean, my
Can I-
segue was. Go ahead, Ali.
I was can I just interject one thing about the whole Serena thing, and then we can definitely.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I think my biggest issue with what came out of that whole incident was how they immediately genderized the issue. Like it became, that's a woman fit. You know, she has postpartum. She just recently gave birth. So you expect this from women athletes. Like the moment I started hearing all of that stuff, I realized like I'm one of those believers, and I'm curious if you guys feel the same way. I believe that Serena Williams is the most dominant athlete in the history of American sports. I really do believe that. I think as a single athlete, she is the most dominant in the history. And there's others that you can debate, but I feel like when you actually look at it nuts and bolts, nobody has dominated their sport the way that she has.
I disagree.
Like who?
Yeah, it's easy for you to say that Serena plays it's just her out there. But I think you gotta put LeBron up there. But in the finals every single year.
That's the thing. Like the most dominant in that sport, and I'm a LeBron fan, and I can honestly say it's debatable whether or not, Jordan is the greatest of all time. Was Shaq the most dominant player to ever play in the NBA?
Right, but I mean,
I was gonna say Shaq's probably LeBron, the dominant.
Dominance?
LeBron doesn't have to be the best player, but right now he's dominating the NBA. I mean, he's in the finals.
He's dominating in terms of like all the shit
wins.
He's doing, but he's not dominating like his teams ain't always winning the championship. Like
there's
right, but he still has 3 rings with 8 appearances.
But that's not dominant.
But listen,
that's pretty dominant.
I want to agree.
He's dominated the Eastern Conference.
At least face.
You gotta think about the last 3 years.
I wouldn't say he dominated
Hall of Famers.
He hasn't dominated the NBA. He's dominated the Eastern Conference.
Time out. I think that as much as I want to agree with you on this, trust me, I do want to. I don't think that LeBron single-handedly dominates the game the same way that you would say Jordan did in his time. And I think you can say it because there's actually proof. LeBron has never stepped away from the game, right? So every team that LeBron has played for the last 8-9 years has made it to the NBA Finals, right? Now, this is the first time where he's going to play in the Western Conference. If the same thing happens this year, I want to amend this statement. I don't know if it'll happen.
It's not.
I don't know.
It's not. That Lakers squad looking.
Golden State.
It might. Who knows? But when Michael Jordan left, when Michael Jordan left, the Bulls were the same exact team and didn't make it to the NBA Finals. He came back. They went back to the NBA Finals and won it all 3 times.
Well, the year after he came back.
No,
he can't.
He came
to the
back
playoffs.
in the middle of the season.
Yeah, he came back.
And then they got eliminated
in 95?
when they pulled a fake foul on John Starks.
Yeah, remember? That's when he was wearing the 4-5.
I think.
I'm saying though, he was wearing the 4-5. That's different. That was just.
Oh, that don't count.
That was just to show you that he ain't playing games with you. You know what I'm saying?
So we gotta give LeBron 1 year at least in LA.
Exactly. Listen, and that's why I'm saying.
LeBron should wear the 4-5 in the Lakers. Just saying. Go ahead.
And I don't want to be one of those people who says, well, because a sport is a team sport, somebody can't be dominant. I do believe that you can be dominant in a team sport. I think Tom Brady is dominant, even though I don't like the fact that he plays for a Boston team. I think Aaron Rodgers is dominant. It's a team game, but these guys are dominant. But they are not the most dominant athletes in the game's history. When you look at a particular sport and who the most dominant is, you can list them in certain sports, compare them to Serena Williams' numbers and true dominance that she has on tennis. It's not close. It's weird.
But we don't know women's golf. There's a women golfer that's been dominating that sport for a while.
There hasn't.
Tiger dominated during his time, and he might be slowly coming back to the old Tiger with some magic. He's competing more now.
I think all of us have this.
I highly doubt it.
That's the reach.
I think we.
So now, no love for Tiger because all the shit that went down.
Nah, not even about the shit that went down.
But he's not gonna go back
trash now.
Now he's just all Asian, right?
He's not trash though.
The black turned away from him like they did Kanye.
Well, he turned away from us first, so.
Who, Kanye or Tiger?
Shit, both of them niggas.
I mean, how many brothers are turning away from the snowflake kryptonite? A lot.
They're turning away and going back to radio shows in Chicago. That's what they're doing.
That's the rebrand again, bro.
Yeah. I know I'll leave it to listen to Kanye. You heard the new shit that Kanye's getting for attention? Now he's back in Chicago, back in the hood. He's getting a little more backbone. Talking, don't put my wife's name in your mouth, nigga.
Who's he talking to? Who said something about his wife?
I mean, every cat that piped.
Because Ray J been talking shit.
So he's talking to Ray J.
I hit it.
Nick Cannon.
Hit it first.
Who else? Drake. No, because rumors are that Drake hit it too.
The game.
The game.
I mean, but
you better not mess with the game though.
Like,
I mean, it's football players, basketball players, like it just transcends.
Wasn't it this guy, your guy from the Cowboys with the blue eyes, Miles Austin?
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
So
and Cristiano Ronaldo. Who's the Reggie Bush?
Reggie.
And Reggie Bush married a chick.
Reggie was gonna marry it.
No, Reggie.
Yeah, no, his wife
married the doppelganger.
That's
cloned her in a lab in LA. But
So
celebrities are weird, nigga. Celebrities.
Like,
every brother that went into LA got Kim.
If you're gonna marry Kim Kardashian, you gotta be okay with her list of men.
You guys,
Like, you can't be embarrassed by it. Like, it is what it is.
you know me.
Like, and you know Kanye got a list just as long.
Kanye got a fucking.
But you know what? I'm on a serious
Yeezy
note.
taught me.
Yeezy taught me. Yeezy taught you well. Listen, so you guys know that I'm all about like eliminating double standards, and we talked about this before. It's like, why does it feel like if a guy does the same thing, it's like, I mean, he's just doing him. But if a girl does it, it's like, damn, she did this. What the?
I think because a guy needs to put in more work for it. That's why.
Yeah, but we have no power.
That's
It's all theirs, though.
It's all
their power, especially now.
That's not. It's not about power.
Well, but the reason,
like the fact that we're labeling it as power.
Well, it is about power. It is about power.
Pussy has the power for everything.
But that's the whole thing, though. It's like, again, we talk about like society and pressures and all that shit. Like, that's all that shit is, man. It's like,
but here's the thing.
Men are like the dominant, you know what I'm saying, gender. Like, we're stronger.
You're about to get mad backlash.
Historically.
I'm all part of the Me Too movement.
Historically, though, we look at...
That was Black Steve, not...
Well, which part's the good part or the bad one?
If we look at everything...
I don't contribute to it.
For the most part, has been, like, dominated and written by men. Like, men...
It's history.
Been like exactly.
But you of all people know it depends on the culture.
It depends on the culture, but most, if we look around the world, like.
Well, actually, I'd love to see a culture. Actually, hold on, let's pause there.
Well, hold on, real quick. Let me just finish my point, real quick. So, like, that's the whole thing. It's like that's all it is. It's like it's that's the way shit's been for so long, but now we're getting to that point in society where we're like, okay, well, yeah, women are people too, and like feel things the same way that we feel things, and that's why now there's so much shit opening up now. But like all of this time before now, like we look at this history, nigga, like it's always been men running shit.
Which is why I would love for Rob to tell me a culture or country or nationality that you know of that is written through the eyes of a woman.
The Amazon.
That's written?
That's one. That's one. You got one.
Yeah,
well, there's a lot of cultures.
That's all the
throughout history, there's been empresses.
But those are outliers, though. That's not. It's not the norm.
But that's what I'm saying. But isn't history written for? Our history is different from different cultures. England
but moments in history versus historical context is different. Like there's a long history of men-dominated cultures on this planet. There have been instances where women have been in positions of power or even led countries. I'm not denying that aspect. What I'm saying is that the lens of the world was built through the eyes.
The whole imperialistic England was all queens.
No, but the queens were the monarchs who were put there as the face of the country.
Exactly.
The actual people who made the decisions were parliament.
I'm talking about when it was just the queen making decisions.
Okay, but
seriously, like
you can still
Caribbean time.
But you can still name more kings. Like,
of course,
King Harry, King this, King that. Like,
but
there's
still
more.
What we're saying is
there were queens in with power in England. Even
but there's also a lot of cultures that have been lost. Like in the African tribes, there's definitely tribes that have women in power.
Listen, my understanding is that I don't know as much.
I don't know them. You guys would probably know more than me.
No, but I don't
know. There definitely is this.
We might.
Look it up. I don't know.
Listen,
Yo, I think like
being honest, keeping it 100.
You're having this real intense conversation, and I can't help but look at the Yankees.
Yeah, they're about to start.
I've been doing the same thing.
Every time somebody makes a point, I'm just like this, looking to the right on the screen.
Play pop up right here. Higgs got uphill though.
So.
Oh shit! Oh no!
Oh, that's it. It's a wrap.
Grand Slam?
No, 7.
Just uglier, uglier than a Grand Slam.
Higgs had a throw in. Well, I guess.
Ali, did you get it?
And Duhar didn't scoop it up at third.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
Nah, I don't blame that on Duhar.
Anyway.
I mean, no one's running.
What else is going on tonight?
So everybody turn off the game. Let's get back to this. No, so here's the thing.
The game just got good.
I think that what I'm trying to say is that it's not about like the power that the woman has in the position. It's the way the society is built is through the lens of a hierarchy that requires men power, is what I'm saying. So like the society is structured in a way where for a woman to be in a position of power, she must behave in the format that a man would in order to make it work. That's what I mean by like the world is made through the lens of a man's.
So you're just saying the characteristics of the gender.
Like, you know, how many times have we heard the whole like, oh, I don't want
the gender itself.
Yeah, like we've heard the whole like, I don't know if I can have a woman president because I'm fearful that she might be too emotional and take us to war. Or something like that. And I'm like,
yeah, well, women do that shit too, man. Like, how many times you first met a woman and she be like, oh, I just want to let you know I don't kick it with females. I don't have no female friends. 'Cause I don't like bitches. Blah 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 blah.
They
blah.
don't.
Nigga, but they be lying their ass off, man. Lying their ass off.
But is that someone you want as president anyway?
A bitch that don't kick it with bitches?
Yeah.
So here's something that my wife and I were talking about earlier today. There's a lot more articles coming out now that talk about how, one, women don't take care of themselves. That's like, especially when they become mothers, right? Like the whole like.
Bro, what's up with that face?
When
if you ride the train in New York, you already know you could be seeing some airy ass women.
I wasn't talking about hygiene or looks. What I was talking about was
care of. I thought of hygiene right away.
General health. When you think about like them. Oh wait a second. Okay. No, they're showing a replay. I thought he had a home run. No. So what it means is, like you guys, if right now you were feeling stressed, most men don't know how to deal with stress. Women's lives are pretty much surrounded by stress. From the age of like 12, once a woman has a menstrual cycle, she deals with a different level of stress than most men have. So we can't actually deal with stress. Most men, the moment that we get stressed, we either hide our emotions or become violent because it's the only way that we can react where we feel comfortable. So what ends up happening is if you, anyone in this chat right now, decided, damn, I need some me time, you will make sure to take care of yourself because that's how we're bred. We're bred for self-preservation. Women, the moment that they become maternal in nature, whether it's they have children or they become wives or, you know, have a partner, they tend to care about everyone else more than themselves. So over time, their general health starts degenerating because they don't spend enough time thinking about themselves. And that's one of the aspects of it. But then the second one, which is really interesting and ties into what we just talked about, the other side of the articles talk about how women don't look out for each other. Like in most cases, women are like, yeah, no, I don't really associate with other women that I don't know. So like women's empowerment, you either are about it or you really don't care about it. And a large portion of the women population are like, nah, I'm just about me, you know what I mean? And no one else.
They're like, fuck that bitch.
Yeah, whereas in guys, we look out for each other. Just, I don't know if it's, and again, I'm not saying that there's a statistic. They've actually done some research on it. I don't have it here in front of me, so don't quote me on numbers. But this is just from my experiences, and you guys tell me if you feel the same. Like, if dudes find out that there's a secret place to go get sneakers for $50, we hit each other up and was like, yo, son, they got sneakers over here for $50, come through. And all of us know, girls, they tend to not want to share information. I don't know if it's and I don't think it's a cultural thing because I think it crosses cultural lines where it's like they're just not as incented, I guess, to help the fellow woman. I'm not sure what.
It's a system. It's a system. So it's like just like I'll tell you that like racism is a system, like sexism is a system, and like no matter like you can be male, female, and still hate women. Like you don't just because you're male, it doesn't make you diametrically opposed to women, and just because you're a woman doesn't make you like women. When the society as a whole teaches people to hate women and say certain things about women and look at women a certain way, then everybody in the society looks at women that way. That's why there are women that'll be like, oh, she's not classy. Like that's like another term to be like, she's lower than me. And that's what happens in this society is that we breed women to compete with one another. And that starts with us. Like they compete for the attention of men. We train, like in this society, we raise women to do that. Like we raise men to empower them to like go out and get a job and do all this other shit. But the way that we typically traditionally raise women is different. And so that's what that shit all comes down to. Is like you raise women to be in competition with each other. Therefore, when they become of age, this is the kind of shit that happens.
So, I'm sorry, Rob, you had something? Oh. So let's bring it first.
I was going to say competition, but Steve said it already, so that was pretty well said.
So it was very well said. It was like we all just stood there and like.
I'm like, oh. he's like, I blacked out. What happened?
Yo, what movie is that? What movie was that?
Old School. So
what was he explaining?
I always mix up like that shit and the shit from Billy Madison, where like he said some shit and the dude was like, "What you just said is the dumbest fucking shit."
Oh, yeah.
I always mix them two shits up.
So
go ahead.
So real quick to make it full circle and to bring it back to both Serena and Kim Kardashian. This is where I want to highlight the double standard portion of it, right? I think I've heard people say LeBron cries a lot. He complains a lot. But nobody doubts how dominant he is. Dizzle almost said that he's the most dominant athlete in the history of all sports. Right?
Dizzle don't know
I didn't say all sports. I said
basketball.
Active.
Well, I said Serena's of all sports. That's why I want to make sure that was in the record book there.
Oh, you mean of all time or you mean
all time? Of all time. Like if you think of one person who played a sport and that you can say, damn, every time they stepped on the court, the field, the ice, whatever it was, that person's going to win because they're that much better than everybody they played in front of. I think she's the only person that can say that. And I said American history, by the way. I don't know. I'm not saying Pele out in Brazil. I don't know. I didn't watch his games. I don't know what he did. But with that, like, I was kind of frustrated with this idea that it's like if it's a guy doing the same exact thing as an athlete, we're like, damn, he's so passionate. His anger is showing through that he wants to win that matchup. She does the same thing, and we say, you know, I think she might just be a little hormonal, and this might just be her expressing her rate. And I go, where do people get comfortable with that? And I think your explanation actually like completely solved the whole riddle for me. I think it's just systemic for us to say like, and I thought only men could do that to women.
Hey Ali, right. Hey Ali, you're welcome.
Ding! The check is in the mail, brother. The check for that one.
Yeah, I mean, but like it's like I said with racism, it's the same thing. There are black people, and not to say like just straight up hate themselves, but like black women
hate ourselves and love their
women get weaves. Black women get weaves. Michael Jackson like made his lips smaller and got a nose job and lightened his skin. Like it's those kinds of things. I mean, that's what it is. It's the system of saying you're not good at. It's the system of saying you're not good enough. Like, so you need to do all of these things.
You're just a bigot.
Which is, you know what? I don't even want to do this all over again, fellas. But can we just go back to Kanye for 1 minute? And it's not about the whole slavery thing. It's actually going to be at a different point.
That sounds like a choice to me.
Yeah, this is the man who said they've made us hate ourselves and love their wealth. That's why Shorty's hollow where the ball is at, right? Like if you listen to the songs on the first album, he talked about how being so self-conscious will lead you down a path of trying to assimilate to other people's desires and wills. And everything that we've heard from this man for the last year and a half is, y'all don't know what it's like. I got diabetes. Not diabetes, my bad, not diabetes.
I got liposuction.
I don't wish that on. He's like, I got liposuction because, you know.
Stop talking about my wife.
Yeah, y'all don't
I got diabetes because of TMZ.
I got
Y'all make fun of me.
But anyway, like,
I'm sorry I hurt you.
He's literally saying that the system that he highlighted is a problem. He has now fallen into it and lacks the self-control or even the desire to try to fight it, and that we should all be comfortable with that. I don't think that makes sense, fellas. I don't know about you guys, and that's why, like, I still, even whether he's on an apology tour or he's going to Chicago to try to make things right, and he's gonna let people like shoot the fair one with him for 30 seconds in the project building. I don't care about any of that because I just feel like it's all been lost already.
I wonder what young Kanye would say to old Kanye. Because they're like two different people at this point.
He'd say, yo, my man, you gotta change this thing up, man, because you didn't like the wire
black people.
You'd be like, why'd you let Jay-Z go?
No, you know what he'd tell him? He'd tell him, seriously though, watch the Throne 2. Are we gonna do it or what? That's what he would tell him.
So who do you think he said? He said you saw he tweeted, "Watch the Throne 2 coming." So who's
Solo?
Lil Pump.
Lil Pump.
He's gonna ruin it.
All right, guys. So we hope you enjoyed this very spirited debate here amongst some very passionate but friendly guys here. As always, if you like this video, click below, give us a thumbs up if you think we deserve it. Love to see your support with subscriptions. Make sure you hit that little bell notification down below to make sure you're notified when videos like these or some extra fresh cuts are posted. I'm your boy Ali, aka Hafa, joined by our boy Dizzle from LES.
Yo.
Boy Rob Merck from Queens.
If you want to know how it's spelled, read Black Steven's shirt.
And our boy Black Stephan from Long Beach, repping San Bernardino. Where is it that you repping at this point, man?
I rep where I'm at. I'm Long Beach. Right?
Mr. Worldwide over there.
Mr. Worldwide.
Well, we appreciate you. Salute y'all.
Peace.